Yep. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we learned about what is the concept of APIs. So technically, API belongs to distributed computing architecture. So what is distributed computing and what are distributed applications? Distributed applications allow communication between two apps running into different devices or on same device. That's what distributed is. Now we will see how to deal with the APIs in a general way first. Yeah. So different technologies have different computing architectures to follow, and the most commonly used distributed computing architecture across all applications and technologies is web service. What are the issues with web service? So the major issues with web service uses HTTP only. It can run on HTTP. It can be hosted on web servers. And web services uses SOAP as a protocol. So they use SOAP. That means they are not much dependent on REST. APIs completely use what? REST. What is REST? So in REST, a consumer will send a simple query request and a provider will send a response. Response primarily in JSON or XML. These days, majority are all JSON. So they are not XML, they are JSON. Now today we will see how to use some APIs which are already built and available and freely available. Later, we will learn how to create our own APIs also, how we can deal with the API. So we can try some APIs, and what is the main concept is in interviews also, when you go to interviews for React based, actually, they give you a practical test. Practical test, they will give you some screenshots, screen designs, and they will ask you to create those designs. And for those designs, you need some data. And they will say that data, you don't need to create database or write database logics and all. Already we have our data. We will provide you some URL. So from where data will come, use the data and design this. So you need to create a good presentation with interactions using the data coming from one API. That is the maximum regular job of a developer in the front end. So you may be working with any technologies, your data will be coming with APIs. So you need to understand and work with these APIs perfectly. So what is the concept of this API? How these APIs work? With some examples we will see. First, I will show you one example. Like, for example, you can try the APIs of Yeah. You can try the API of NASA. So we have API dot NASA. Sticking while NASA.gov. This is NASA API's portal actually. It is a NASA API portal. It is one API portal. What is this? So generally what NASA people do is NASA people say that if you are an app developer, you are building apps, maybe different technology, Java, .NET, mobile, anything, and you are interested in building apps related to space, science, technology, then whatever data you need, they will provide you. So NASA says that if you are an app developer, you are interested in building apps related to space research and science technology, then whatever data you need, we will provide you that data. That is their official portal actually, NASA APIs. You can visit this portal. So let's visit this portal, api.nasa.gov. This is official NASA portal. This is the API portal of NASA, and see, so the objective of this site is to make the NASA data accessible to app developers, application developers. And actually, they provide you some data, and you can use the data, design applications, educate the world related to space, science, technology. Some universities, colleges use these APIs in their websites. Those universities, colleges educate their students on various science, space related concepts from the data coming from NASA people. And actually, they have limited access. That means they provide you some data for free, but restrictions will be there. Restrictions means per day, how many times you can view, how much time you can view, all that restrictions will be there. So what you do is to increase the limit and to use in a better way, you visit this website. Later, I will show you other APIs also. So you visit this website, click this generate API key. When you click generate API key, they will ask you your name, email details. This is a free one, just name and email enough. When you submit, what they do is they will send a key to your email. Key is just like a 32 characters or 16 characters, some code will be there. What you have to do is you have to use that code to use this API every time. So that code will come to your email and you can use that code every time. How, where to use, I will show you. First, you register a key. Without key also you can try, but limited. Every time you will not get free access. So create a key. After that, now you browse APIs. There is a browse APIs. When you browse APIs, they have given lot of APIs. Astronomy picture of day, asteroids, Earth, Mars rover photos, NASA image and video library. So much is there. You select any. This I will select Mars rover photos. It have large data. So I will select this Mars rover photos. When I select Mars rover photos, you can see that here they will give you some URLs. And observe here, the request is in a simple URL. And when I make a request of this, it will give me the data which comes in the format of JSON. So NASA provides you these APIs. These are not for general people. That means even general scientists also, they don't need this because they don't know this JSON and all. This portal is not for science space researching people. This is for software developers who are interested in building apps. Now they provide you the data and you know the data now. So what the data is coming? What does this symbol indicates? Object. And in that object, there is a key called photos. And the photos is what type? Array. Array of objects. It's an array of objects. So that means in the every object have an ID, it have a name, it have a sol, camera. Camera is again object. And in that object, again, some properties are there. There is an image source. Now, what is the job of developer is he need to present this data, create a UI for handling interactions with the data. Not just presenting the data, interactions with the data. That means even when you go to interviews on React, practical tests, they will give you data and they will ask you to design interactions for data. Design interaction means filtering, sorting, searching, inserting, updating, deleting. Majority of all interviews for any developer in the world will be CRUD operations. You may be .NET, you may be Java, you may be Python. Any software developer is tested on CRUD operations. You know what are CRUD operations. So create, read, update, and delete. If you cannot do, don't attend any interviews. It's waste of time. So you are planning for cracking jobs in interviews in your technology. Make sure that you can handle all the CRUD operations on data. Filtering, sorting, searching, everything you can implement, then only you try for jobs. Otherwise, no. Waste of time because every interview deals with the same thing. That means they will give you some data, they will ask you to design interaction. These days, they ask more requirements in that. They say that export this to PDF form, export this data to Excel form. They will say that I want filtering of the data. I want sorting, I want searching. You have to implement everything. We will see how we can manage that. But initially, this is basically data and it's large amount of data. So much data is there. First, we will see how to present this data. Later, we will learn how to maintain such data by ourselves. By ourselves, how you can maintain such data also, we will see that. But first, we will see this data. What is this? How to deal with this data? And it's not necessary that you have to use everything given here. So you can use only what you want from this. Okay, let's see how to handle this now. So first thing is, you see this is the URL. That means it is providing a URL with JSON means it is what? REST. And in this URL, you can see, I will copy this URL. In this URL, there is a demo key. Now what you have to do is replace this demo key with the key you got in your email. That means when you register, you will get a key. You have to replace this demo key with that key. So then you will have more access. You will have more access for that. Okay. So first I will copy this URL. Now let's go to our design. Let's create a component. I will add a component here as NASA API. and NASA API dot JSX. Okay, so we have export function NASA API. Okay, so it will return some fragment. So now here we want to present the data. The data coming here, I will give a heading like Mars rover photos. Okay, so let's keep this in the startup. And here we need to use NASA API. Fine. So NASA API, that component is in the startup. So we need to get the data from that API and display the data here. So how do we do this? Generally, to do that, what we will do here is we will first create a constant. I will create a constant that is a Mars object something and set Mars object. So this is one state. That means we will configure as what? Use state. Okay. Now, what is the data you are expecting here? What kind of data is coming here? So you can see what is the final data coming here. So data is an object. So what I am expecting here is I'm expecting an object. I'm expecting an object. And in that object, so in that object, I have a key called what? Photos. And photos is an array. Photos is an array. That is the data I am expecting. So actually we have an object and that object have photos and photos is an array type. In that array, again, what you are expecting, you can design that. But I will initially first show you various consequences. So first thing, I am expecting an object which contains a key called photos. That photos have a collection of all the data. Okay. Now, how to fetch the data coming from any API? You can use all your AJAX methods. We learned 4 methods. We can use XML HTTP request, fetch. We can use jQuery AJAX or we can use Axios. I showed you 4 different techniques of communication, AJAX request, how we can make. So what we will do is we will import Axios from Axios. Now how to make an Axios request, we know. That means what we will do. So use effect. That means on the mount face. On the mount face, we need to fetch the data coming from that API. So we have to use Axios. Axios have a get method. We need to fetch the data. Then we have to use the method get. Later you will see other methods, post, put, delete. But this API don't allow. This API don't allow to submit anything. They will allow you only to fetch. That means they will not allow you to modify anything or delete anything. They will just give you get. So we have to use the get method. And you are fetching means get from which URL. So URL is the path I copied. This is the URL of NASA API. And remember, you have to replace this demo key with your key. You can try demo key, but problem is After 2-3 times you test, they will say that now please provide your original key. They will not give you more access. Like, so if you are testing just 2-3 times, it's fine. Right? So here, okay, what is this dot what? Then we will get a function with a response. And this response data we need to set in Mars object. That means actually we have a Mars object. Into the Mars object, we need to send what response dot data. Response dot data. Whatever data comes, it will be there. I'm not even using this array. I'm just using an object type, because this response data finally first comes as what? Object. That just an empty object I will keep. Okay, data is ready now. What we need to do is we need to present this data. Set Mars object now. Set Mars object, that is response dot data. Okay, now we need to access the Mars object and present it. So let's create a presentation here. How you want to present the data that your wish. You want to present like a tabular form or a grid form, anything. I will use a card style. So I will use here a section. In this section, I will keep as a class dflex and flex wrap. And inside the section, we will use a binding expression. Now we need to read every object coming from the API. So we will use Mars object. Mars object have a key called photos. That photos is an array. Then we have to use a map. And the map, we will get an item from that map. That item is nothing but information about every photo. And this item contains lot of details. For every item, we need to design a card. So I will create a div with a class as card. In Bootstrap, we have card styles and card padding to margin to card style will have a width of some 200 pixel. Inside the card, and this card will be generated for every item. So it will have a key. Key will be item.id. Every item have an ID. We will use that ID. So every item is having an ID. We will use it. And below this, we need an image. This image will have a class card image top. And the image have an height. So height, I will give some 200 pixel. And 150 is enough, fine. And the image src is coming from item dot img underscore src. Actually, you have to first observe their data. And you can see in their data, they have key called ID. You need to be very careful because capitalization, everything matters. You have to use the same. And there is an img underscore src, which is image source. Image source. We have a camera full name and we have a rover name. So I don't want all details. I want only few details. I want photo. I want its ID. I want its camera name and rover name, right? Then what I'm doing here. So this is image. After that, we will create a div. This is having a card header. In the card header, we will just keep a div. So class as font size some 4. And we will keep here as item dot ID. It will get a photo ID actually. After that, I will create a class name. This is card body. In the card body, we will put a data list with a data term. Data term is camera name. what is the camera name? I will put a class bi camera. And here I want to display the camera name. So how do you get the camera name is, we can get the camera name. What is it? Item dot camera dot full underscore name. That's what they are having. Camera is an object. In that object, again, there is a key called full name. Okay. Another, I give rover. And here I need to display the rover name. So I'm just using, so item dot rover dot name, which is going to get the rover name. And you can see this is the data we are displaying, and it have to get the data and show. Now the data is ready. That means we are accessing the data from the API and we are displaying the data. This is all the data that is present in their server, and we are fetching the data and displaying. And I am displaying the data in a card style. This is a card style, you know. Majority all websites will have these card styles. Huh? Amazon, Flipkart, majority all people show their highlights, the key products in their card style. Now, what is the point is, here they will ask you to design interactions. Interactions means they will ask you like, put a filter right side or left side. In that filter, radios, drop downs, checkboxes, sliders, and how you want to filter. For example, you see it is showing the photos taken by rear camera and front camera and masked camera. That means 3 cameras are there. Now your interviewer will ask you like, create a filter so that I can select only front camera, then only front camera photo should come. And I select rear camera, only rear camera photo should come. That means they will ask you to do that. And not only that, actually every photo is taken on a particular date. They will ask you that design a date picker, and user must able to select a date range. It should show the photos only taken on between those dates. And they will say that I want date descending order, date ascending order. That means recent one top, recent one last. This is the type of tasks given to you in interviews. You must able to handle that. For that, all your data binding, event binding knowledge will come to picture. So that means what events you write, how you collect the data, how you filter and sort the data, how you show the data. They will provide you plain data, and all the interactions you need to design now. You need to design. They ask different criteria. For example, if anybody asks you like, I must able to click on the photo, then photo should open in a separate tab, full screen. Then how? If anyone asks like, I want that photo clickable, and when I click the photo, it should open the photo in a full screen, in a separate tab. Then simple, what you do, we will make this image in an anchor clickable. We will make that in an anchor clickable. And what should be that anchor href? Anchor href will be the same item dot what? Image src. Anchor will be item image src. And what is the target? You know, anchor have a target underscore what? Blank. That means now the image that you are showing in the card, the image is clickable now. And when anybody clicks on that image, then it should get that in a separate tab and show. These are all such functionalities they ask. And sometimes they say that I am just accessing that. Sometimes they say that I don't want in a tab. I want a pop-up in the same screen. That in that pop-up, it should display. That means I don't want in a new tab in the same screen, a pop-up should come. In the pop-up, it should display. And it should display all details of that photo. Currently, you are showing highlights. You are showing only photo, ID, camera, rover, but it has so many details, like on which date it is taken. You have so many details. Now, every photo have a lot of details. It have lot of details. And they want all those details when user clicks on it. You know, websites, what they do, they will provide few highlights and say more. And you click on more, it will get you the more. This all we will try to design. For that, we need some more simple understanding of concept. Then we can create all those interactions now. This is understand how we can fetch the data and how we can use the data. Currently, you are learning only fetch and present. Later, we will learn interactions also. That means filtering, sorting, searching, inserting, updating, deleting. How do we manage them? But these people don't allow all operations. They allow only fetch. You can create some filters, sorts and all, but you cannot insert, update and delete. Such things we will do later. Initially, this is one basic example, right? So this is one example of how we can access an API and use the API. So I will give this example. Here, nothing new topic is there. You are using use state to store the data coming, and you are using Axios to communicate with the APIs. Axios, which method we are using? Get. By using get method we are doing. How filters are created, how it is manipulated, I will show you. We will see that another one I will show you. This is an example, NASA API dot what JSX. This is the NASA API JSX related page. Okay. Let's see another one. We will see different APIs so that you will get a clarity on how data comes, how various types of data. That means data is not always an object. That means currently you are watching data as an object, but every time it is not just object. There will be so many types of data. Let's see another one. We will see another API. We will see another API, how these interactions are designed. You can try another API. We have a HTTPS fake store API, api.com. You can try this one. There are so many other APIs, different categories. I will give you some list. You can try them. That means like books API, recipes API, or some weather APIs. So many will be there, right? Hundreds of free APIs are available. You can try them, right? So here, actually, what is this fake store API is? So fake store API is it provides REST. So it provides RESTful services for ERP. ERP is enterprise resource planning for ERP. ERP is just like an online shopping. RESTful services for ERP. So let's try to understand their data first. We will try to understand their data, how their data looks like. Actually, they have a request, and the request have a route, and it have a description. Some small description I will give here. That means what data they are having, I will explain. We can see, first we need to understand the data. Once you understand what is the data, then you can handle the data. These people provide route is nothing but path. later you will learn here also routing concept. Route is a path, how you can access it, right? URL path. So request, they have a get request and its route is products. So which is going to, so returns array of products. That means actually it is an array of object. It returns an array of products. Actually array of all products. All products. They have some information about 20 products. They will give you all those 20 products with this URL. Remember, this is the route path you have to use after this address. That means fakestoreapi.com/products. That's how we have to use. They have another one, get products/1. This is nothing but it returns specific product by ID. That means actually it is an object. It is an object. And it returns only one object. Which ID you entered, that ID related product will come. And here we have another one. So products/categories. Products/categories. Actually, it returns a string array of all categories. It returns a string array of all categories. You know how a string array contains. Array of string, products/categories. It also have products/category/category name. They have 4 categories of products. You can use their category names. What it will do is it returns all products of specific category. It returns all products of specific category. It is again an array of objects. But this array contains only the products that belong to that category. So products of one category/category name. These are some API methods they provide in their website for handling different data. Such methods we will learn how to create by our own. For that, you need to learn the backend integrations. Later, we will do that, how to create our own APIs. These are the API methods. Let's see now. For example, I will go into this now. This is fakestoreapi.com. This is Fakestore API. And it is an API for, you see, it says that it is a REST API for a e-commerce site. And they already have some data. And you can see REST API, and you can see they given you a fetch method, but we don't need that fetch method. JavaScript people can use this fetch method. We will use Axios. Now you see, this is all the data they are having, methods. These are all the routes they have. And you see the first one, products. It is going to return all the products data. And this is an array of objects. And you see they have products of 1. It is going to return only one product that belongs to that ID. belongs to that ID. You change the ID, it is going to get that, right? Next, we have another one, products slash categories. It is going to return a string array. It's a plain string array, and it is having collection of all the categories they have. They will provide you data like this. And based on that, you need to add more interactions, design interactions. Let's see how we can do that. So once we know what data is coming, that means you see here, every product have again some details like ID, title, price, description, category, image, rating. Rating is again object. It is having a rate and a count, rate and a count. Okay, let's see how to present this, how we can create a presentation for that. So here we will create another component called fake store. Fake store is the component. Okay, I will give as fake store dot JSX. Okay, let's create here export function. So fake store. I am creating a fake store here. And in this fake store, so return a simple presentation. So container fluid. And here I will create a header. In the header, we have a div. So some fake store and class as H4. H4, fine. And this is one division. Another division we are having. Initially, I will just keep here home, span electronics. So here they have jewelry. And here they have men's fashion and women fashion. This is the data they are having, and another div. And we have a span. Okay, I will just keep a div with a button. So button have a class BI cart 4. And we have just BTN and BTN some warning. We have a span class. So class as badge and rounded circle and some BG as danger. Okay. Initially, I just kept 0. Later, we will keep some data there. Okay. Now, this I'm keeping as deflex. Justify content between. Okay. Padding 2 and some, that's fine. So we have padding 2 and some BG dark. Fine. This is the fake store. We will keep this in the startup, fake store in the startup. And this is the header we are having for that. That's the header we are having. And here we will keep as text white. So you can see this is the data we have. Yeah. And every span will have a class MX, PX, sum2. So this is nothing but padding left and right. Some gap will be there. That's fine. Now this is at the top. So we are having at the top. So class is FS 3 or 4. Oh, this is 5. That looks fine. Right. This is the just a small header we are having with some navigation. Okay. Now left side, and actually, you know, this button, we have position as position. What position we can give? Yeah, position as relative, and we will keep this badge position as absolute. Then it will keep it in this way. That means it will keep that in that way. And ME4. So that will be fine. That means you see this is the cart items. Okay, now we will create here, after the header, we have a section part. In the section, we are keeping a class margin top as 4 left side, and we will keep this as row. And here we will put a nav, and here we will keep a main, nav and main area. In the nav, we have a label, select category, and class as form label, and font weight as bold. Below this, we will have a div. We will put a drop down. And you know the drop down, for this, I will put a class as form select. Okay. Now you can see that this is the data. And this nav will have a class called 2. And this main will have a class called 10. That means this nav bar have a drop down left side. Now what I want to do here is, whatever the product categories they have, those categories list must display inside the drop down. And that list must come from API. API have the list, we have to get the data and display the data in the drop down. So the drop down list is not a stable one. It is coming from API. It's not a static list. So dynamically it should come from the API. So what you will do now in this first, so we are having a constant, that is categories, and set categories. And categories is use state. We are expecting an array of string type. It's an array we are expecting. Okay. So now what these categories have to do, that means I will write use effect at the time of mounting the component. Okay. Now first what I need to do is load all the categories into dropdown. That means we have to collect all the categories. So we will import Axios. Okay. We will create a separate function, load categories. And we will call that function inside use effect so that we will not mess up the use effect. That means on load, we will keep it simple. We will keep it simple. On load, I am not writing the functionality. I am writing the functionality in a separate function, and that function we will call on load. And what these load categories have to do, get the data coming from the fake store categories and load into this state. So we need to use what? Axios.get. And what is the URL? The URL is https://fakestoreapi.com/what? products/categories. This is going to get the all categories. Then and on then we will use a function which will collect the response. The response data we need to set categories. Set categories response dot what data. Now it is ready. So we are accessing the data and loading the data into the categories. Now these categories must be displayed inside the dropdown. In the dropdown, we want to display the categories. We will use a binding expression, and in a dropdown, every category must be displayed like an option. So what we have to do, we have to use categories.map. you read every category, and every category must generate an option. And this option must have a key, which I will use the category. And it will have a value here, text. Text also what? Category. That means the category name is used as text and it is used as an option. That means now you see the options are created for that. So the data is coming from there here. But actually, in their categories, they have category names in lowercase. I want to display that in uppercase. Then I will use here dot to uppercase, which is your string method. It will convert the category name into uppercase. But when user selects the category, it should submit lowercase only, because in their original data, it is lowercase. You want to show in uppercase. Then what we need to do? So the option value will be category only. That means you will see uppercase, but you will submit lowercase. You know that option have text and value. Text is what you want to see and value is what you want to submit. You know that every drop down have option with value and text, right? Now, what happens? It is in uppercase now. Category names are in uppercase. Category names are in uppercase, but directly it is starting with electronics. I don't want like that. I want to put all as a word at the top, but they don't have any such all. You see products / categories, they don't have any all in their list. But you know, you can add anything new into array. So what you are to do here, this is response data. Response data is loaded into categories. Before loading into categories, that response data is an array. Into that array, we need to add one more item. How to add more items into array? You can use push, you can use unshift, you can use splice. What is difference? Push is going to add a new item as last item. Unshift is going to add a new item as first item. And splice is going to add anywhere. So we want to add all as first item. Then what we will do? Response dot data, it is an array. Into that what? Unshift all. That means we are adding one more category to it. And you can see that that is also ready here. That means we are adding that category all. They don't have all, but we need all. So we don't want to start with electronics or anything. So that's the reason we added a all. Okay. This is fine. Now in the main area, I need to display all the products. In the main area, I need to display all the products. What products they have, I need to show the preview of the products. So I need another collection, constant. What is it? Products. Set products. Use state. Now here it is an array of object. Every object, what is having, you have to make it strongly typed. Otherwise, you will face issues. Strongly typed means you tell what type of data is coming. Otherwise, capitalization problems will come. You miss the spelling sometimes. So better what you do, you tell what data is expected. I am expecting an ID. ID data type is number. I am expecting title. Title data type is string. I am expecting description. Description data type is string. I am expecting image. Image data type is string. I am expecting price. Price is a number. And I am expecting rating. Rating is again an object. This object contains rate, which is number. It contains count, that is also number. That means finally, what is the data coming from their API? You hard code the data. React 18 and latest version onwards, they have given a better error support. Earlier, we don't have that. That means when you write any variable, any key name, the key names are dynamically resolved. Dynamic data types. Dynamically resolved means at runtime it will verify whether that value is matching or not. That is headache. If runtime you will verify and value is not matching, it will show error. Compile time itself verify and tell me that it is wrong. So you will not tell me wrong in compile time and you will tell me wrong at runtime. It is time waste. So that is the reason React 18 recommends you to define the data what you are dealing with so that compile time itself it can handle it. That is the additional error handling techniques they added. Earlier we don't have. That means in earlier versions of React, we are not sure what data we are dealing with until or unless we run it. But now they have a better support for that. So it is recommended to do this. That means what data you are expecting. So this is product/1. Every product have products. Yeah. Every product have an ID, title, price, description, category is also there. So one more field is there. Order doesn't matter. So one more field is what? Category. Category is a string type. You make sure that all fields are present, right? Okay, I'm adding all the fields that are there. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to get the products and we need to load the products. So I'm creating another function. What is it? Load products. Load products. But I need to load products so many times. What are the so many times? Nothing but first, I want to load all products. When the component loads, I should load all the products. But later, when user selects electronics, I should load only electronic products. When user selects jewelry, I need to load only jewelry products. That means loading of products is not done one time. It is several times. And every time URL is not same. One time it will load all products, another time it will load jewelry products, another time it will load electronic products. That means this load products is expecting a URL. Based on that, it will change. That means I given a function parameter URL. That means whenever you call load products, you tell which data to load. You have to tell the URL. Now what our Axios have to do, use that URL. Axios dot what? Get from that URL. Get from that URL. And after that, then get the response. And this response load into set products. Set products, the response dot what? Data. That means load products is ready, but what data to load you tell whenever you call the function. So first here, at the time of loading the component, we will load products. Now tell me what is the URL. I have to load all products. All products URL is this one. All products URL is this one. This is all products URL. That means what we have to do here, we have to say https:// what it is, fakestoreapi.com/ what? Products. It is going to load all the products. That's good. Now where to show the products? We want to show the products inside the main area. Inside the main area, we want to show the products. I will do one thing. I will put here deflex and flex wrap. So flex wrap, and I will keep overflow as auto, and style I will give height as some 500 pixels. Like this, I am displaying the main. Inside the main, I need to load all the products. Then how to load all the products? We have a products dot what map. You read every product, and for every product, we need to generate a div and we need to display like a card. Just now we saw NASA cards we created. Padding 2, margin 2, and every card have a style. So with the width as some 200 pixel. Inside the card, we need to display the product details. And how to display the product details? I'm using an image. Here I want the product image. So image src is coming from product dot image. Now it is strongly typed. If I misspelled images or something, then automatically at compile time itself, it will show a problem. It says that image is declared, but you are using something else. It says that image A may not exist. That is good. Earlier, it don't show this problem. It will show this problem at runtime. That's the reason better you hard code what data is coming. And we will put a class name as card image top. And I will keep an height as height is equal to something like what, some 120 pixel. Oh, fine. After this, we will keep a div. This will be a class card header. In the card header, we want to display, we will display a div. In that we will display the product title. And this card header also we will keep a style, and we'll keep some height of this as 120, 130 pixel. Okay. Next, we are having div after the header, right? We have a body. We have a class as card body. In the card body, I want to display the price. That means data list, data term. I want to display the price. And how to display the price? We have product dot what? Price. Actually, their data is in dollars. So then you can keep as what? To local string and keep as en hyphen us. And you can also keep as what? Style. Style is what? Currency. And what is the currency? Currency is USD. US dollars. Huh? Right. Another data term, we have a rating and data definition. Here we want to display the rating. So we will put a span with a class as badge and BG success and padding 1 and rounded. And in this, we want to display the rating. The rating will come from product dot rating dot what? Rate. And we will put a span class bi star fill. That is the rating we want to display. And after that, another span. So we will put here. So I will keep here product dot rating dot count. So ratings like this I want to give. This is class as a text secondary and font weight as bold. Okay. This is the card body. Okay. Now we need, you can see that now we need another one div. So class name as card footer. In the card footer, I will keep a button with a class btn and btn warning, bi and bi cart 4, and we will keep as add to cart. And we will keep the button size W100. And you can see now every card is going to display. All the products will be displayed here. Now this is all the products data that is coming from that API. That's all the products data coming from the API. That means we are fetching the data and we are displaying the data coming from that particular API. Now we need to make this work. That means when user selects a category, the category related products must come here. So let's implement that. That means we need to write logic for this drop down change. Now you know how to write the events. How do you write the events? So we will write one function. So we will write here a function. What is the function? Is handle category change. When category is changed, how to get the category name, which category they selected? How to get the category name? We can get the category name by using event argument. event argument. This will be attached to drop down. Huh? So where is the drop down? This drop down will have, what is it? On change. Handle what? Category change. On category change, the current option value you can collect. Which option they selected, the value you can collect. How to collect the option value? E dot target dot value. Am I right? Now, what we need to do is we need to load products. Load products. Okay, load products. What is the URL? URL is load products URL is https://fakestore.api.com/ what products/what category/category name. Category name is not fixed. It is coming from drop down. So here we will put a binding expression. I am writing a backtick string. You know now? Right. Now in this e dot what? Target dot what? Value. That's it. Now you see here, what we are doing is whenever it loads, this is the data coming. Whenever I select here jewelry, only jewelry products will come. And whenever I select men's clothing, only men's clothing will come. So women's clothing will come. There may be some more products there. And electronics will come. There are electronics here. And all, nothing will come. Why? You haven't written any logic for that. Sometimes people come and ask, sir, if I do like this, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Have you written anything for that? Then nothing will happen. So that's nonsense question. You have to write logic for every question that you have in your brain. You have a question, answer for that is code. You have a question, the answer for that is write a logic for that. Right? There is nothing like how it will happen, how it knows your mood, how it knows your brain, what you think. That means you have to write every case manually. It will not do anything by itself. That means you want like this, what to do, write logic for that. You want like that, what to do, write logic for that. So we haven't written logic for all. So here we will write logic for all. What is the logic is if e dot target dot value is equal to what you are expecting, all. If it is all, then load products, all products. How to load all products? Load all products is https://fakestore.api.com/what products. That is going to load our products. Otherwise, if it is not all, load only the product belong to that category. That means if they select all, load all products, otherwise only the products that belong to that particular category. Now you can see that, you can see here. So I am clicking here. I am selecting jewelry, only jewelry will come. And I selected again all, then again all will come. Again all products will come. I'm selecting this jewelry or electronics or men's clothing, only those will come. Women's clothing, only those will come. And again, I selected all, then it should get all. It should get all. Now, I want that to happen here also. That means user clicks on electronics, only electronics should come. Home, then it will get all. How? Nothing complicated. What you have to do? So for this, actually, so these, what are these? You can make them clickable, right? That means this is, where is it? Anchors, header, na? Yeah. Here, you can make them clickable. You can make that clickable, right? It can be anchor, or you can keep a button with a class as BTN and BTN link. That means it looks like a link button actually. It looks like a link button. So it is like a link button. So here, suppose I'm giving, means you can use lot of like what we say BTN btn as some light, that is, so button light button we are using here. Text white we have to use actually for anchors. We'll do one thing. We will just keep this button as a btn light. Just like a btn light. It is like this. We can make them highlight when user clicks, because in Bootstrap you have a nav tabs combination. By using nav tabs also we can do that. Okay, now what should happen when user clicks home? So because see, if you just give btn class, it will put a plain button. It will put a plain button, right? You just put a btn class, it will put a plain button. You can put different colors, styles, effects you can use. So I'm just giving btn and btn what? Light. And on this button click, like that, you put all the buttons. On button click, how I can load all products? That means what we will do is, we will write another function. We will write another function. In this function, we will say nav bar button click. This will collect, and this will collect as category name. It will collect the category name. That category name we need to load. That means on home button click. So that means what we will do, on click, what is it? Nav bar button clicker. What is the function name we given? Nav bar button click. So nav bar button click. Now how to send custom parameters? You need to send custom parameters like a function. Now nav bar button click, we can send the category name. Category name is what? All. Like that, for every button you can send a different category name. Electronics, jewelry, different category name. What we have to do, just collect the category and display the category related products. That means what we have to do here, load products, and what is the URL? https://fakestoreapi.com/what products/what category/category name. Category name, whatever you define. Now, what is the point here? So the point is nothing but, suppose I selected here jewelry. Only jewelry will come. Again, I click on home. Then again, all products must come. Some problem? HTTP fake store API. Any problem is there? Nav bar button click. Let's inspect in the console. Issue is there. Unique key, fine. That is fine. Which unique key is missing? In card, we haven't given in unique key. This is a key. What is the key? Product.id. Okay, that's not an issue. Here, what we do, we have to pass the parameter. Nav bar button click, we are collecting all. It's a string. I will put here console.log. Category name, is it coming correctly? Inspect. Suppose I selected here jewelry. I selected jewelry, only jewelry products, home. All is, for all we haven't written a condition. Right? So that means what we need to do, we need to write a condition, same as you written above. Because there is no all category. So we need to write the same condition how you written here. Same condition we will write here also. On navbar click. The category name. That means if is equal to all, it is this, and otherwise what it will use? It will use the category name. Category name, because there is no all category. We have to write a condition for that. E is not defined. Here we don't have an E. Here it is E. Here this is what? Category name. This is the reference. Reference is what? Category name. If category name is equal to all, we need to do that. Now it is fine. What you need to do here, you have to just use this jewelry. Only jewelry will come. Sometimes it will take time because it has to get the data from the API. So it will not immediately load. And I click on home, then again all will come. That means we need to write a logic for that. So you selected electronics, only electronics, again home, then it will get all. That is how we have to implement. When user clicks electronics, then you pass the electronic category. You pass jewelry category. Automatically those category deleted will come. Now we need to implement this button. When I click add to cart, it should add that item into my cart and it should show here one product is there. That means how many items are there in my cart, it should add that. And when I click this button, it should show me my cart. How many items are in my cart? How many items I added in my cart? I must able to view them. We have to implement this functionality. Currently, we are implementing fetch and we are filtering. Now we will see how to add, how to delete like operations. That we'll see next session. Tomorrow we will do that. So up to now, I will upload this logic. Tomorrow we will complete this. Tomorrow we will implement the functionality of add to cart and showing the cart list. How we can show the cart list, right? That we will continue in tomorrow's session. Okay.